House Oversight Committee has asked Dan Snyder, the Washington owner, and Roger Goodell, obviously the NFL commissioner, to testify at the oversight hearing. Interestingly, they picked June 22nd, which is when I'm going to be on vacation. But I'll tell you what, we'll see whether there's going to be compliance. And I'm curious to know what the questions are going to be and how the NFL. I wouldn't imagine that Roger Goodell wants to go and sit down before a House Oversight Committee because he's going to be asked probably some questions that either legally he can't answer or won't want to answer. Same with Snyder. I'll be curious to see if this actually takes place because I've said this before. This is why when people say congressional oversight's no big deal, it is a big deal because you put important, powerful people in uncomfortable situations that rarely happens in the NFL. And this is going to be one of the most uncomfortable.
Yeah, see, rarely pan out to anything. The politicians aren't that smart. They're rarely well briefed. They ask grandstanding questions. They get off topic really easy. It's usually a mess. I have no faith in these. I don't know. Maybe, but it's like, yeah, you donate to the right political action committee 12 hours ahead of time. You get some softball questions, or it just becomes a circus. And the bigger the circus, everything gets muddied. So I don't know. Maybe you get some answers, but usually not that hard to beat the senators. They're not smart. They think they're smart.
Well, it becomes,
but they're not good at it.
It's a platform and it's a spotlight. Like it is. Like I get that. I totally understand that. But at the same time, Roger Goodell stands up in front of us and he rarely answers a question that he doesn't want to answer. Actually, never answers the question he never wants. He redirects, goes, just drones on and on about something that has nothing to do with the question or, sidesteps it. At least a situation like this, he's asked a question and look, congressional testimony, you're supposed to be truthful. And there are certain pointed questions you can ask that he would have to answer truthfully.
I'm sure I would not accuse Roger Goodell of planning on perjuring himself. I'm just saying that this is easier than his annual Super Bowl press conference. I'm not even kidding. I'm not propping up sports writers as anything. It speaks to how these things go. It's always a mess. The politicians are they don't have any expertise on it. It's easy for them to talk circles around them. They're trying to grant. It's just, I don't know. Maybe something happens, but man, the idea that someone's popping down on these guys and it's like, how hard are you going to go after Roger Goodell? Roger Goodell represents 31 of the richest people in the country.
Well, 32, because he represents himself as well. I mean, he is definitely one of the richest people.
Fair
in the
enough.
country.
The longer you talk, and then I gotta have to check on that. It's just not that hard for Goodell. He's got a lot of experience at this. Is Snyder's going to be there?
They're asking. They want Dan Snyder there too, and that's another aspect.
And is he going to show up?
Well, no one's responded yet. It just happened. This is something that's unfolding right now. The NFL, and Snyder, they're all going to respond in a timely manner, which is probably a way of saying we're going to try and figure out how to get out of this.
Well, I mean, look, there could be great stuff. I just have zero faith in I've just watched too many of these things. I've gone to them.
But here's the thing,
and you're like, no, you didn't ask that question. You're going to fall into he's going to be able to come up with this answer. And he's going to be able to come up with this answer.
Here's the thing. I heard that at the start though, too. Oh, this is not going to be. And then next thing you know, you got a former team employee, longtime team employee saying, oh yeah, we were cooking the books. And here's the information. And here, let me furnish this. You don't, two things you don't know. You don't know if either of those guys is going to get boxed into a yes or no answer where you don't want to perjure yourself and it's a yes or no answer type of situation. And, giving you say no when it's yes, you just perjured yourself. So you don't know if they're going to get you boxed into that kind of a question, which, you're right. There's some smarts to put someone in that situation. But then number two, you don't know what they're going to say that then could in turn piss off someone else out there who knows something.